So this is a square root function. So we want to find the slope function for the square root function. So what we're going to do again is we're going to find that point. So this is going to start at x equals -2. I can find some arbitrary point x. Okay, the height of that is square root x plus 2. And then find another coordinate, somewhere around here. We'll say that's x plus h. And we know that the height of that graph there is going to be x plus h plus 2. Okay, so we want to find the rise and run between those 2 points, and then we're going to bring those points close together, and we're going to find the instantaneous tangent slope again. So we're going to set this up again as a limit. So f prime, that's going to equal to the limit as h goes to 0. That's my run. The slope ratio is going to be square root x plus h plus 2 minus square root x plus 2, and that's all over h. This we've seen before. If we want to get rid of those square roots to free up the h, we have to use a conjugate function. So we're going to use x plus h plus 2 plus square root x plus 2. This is going to give us a difference of squares, which allows us to free up that square root, and doesn't introduce any new square roots in there. However, we do have to keep this in balance, so we have to do the same to the denominator. And although we're introducing another h into the denominator, that's a plus h. That's not going to make a difference when we add 0. And hopefully we can free up that h here to cancel out with the numerator. So again, plugging that in, the limit as h goes to 0, we're going to end up with x plus h plus 2 square root squared, x plus 2 square root squared. Okay. And in the denominator, we're going to have h times x plus h plus 2 plus square root x plus 2. Okay, so lots of things again are going to cancel out. We're going to have our x's cancel, our plus 2 minus 2 cancel. There's our h factor. So limit as h goes to 0. We freed up that h in the numerator. That's going to cancel with that h in the denominator. This plus h is not a big deal because that's going to just give us, that's not going to give us divide by 0. Okay, so it looks like that. And then canceling those out, we end up with limit as h goes to 0, 1 over x plus h plus 2 plus x plus 2. As we let h go to 0, we're going to end up with x plus 2 square root plus x plus 2 square root. So we have 2 of those. So there it is. So the derivative, or the slope function that calculates slope on square root x plus 2 is going to be 1 over 2 square root x plus 2. Okay, so we'll just write it out here. F prime of x is equal to 1 over 2 square root x plus 2. Okay, so there's the process of finding a derivative. So the derivative is a function that calculates slope, and the derivative itself is a function. So there's the graph of this, there's the shape of this graph, and this shape of graph gives us a pattern, which is this function here. And this function itself has a pattern as well. And so we want to make sure that we can start relating these two things together and the graphs of them to each other.